Some beautiful country here in the Great White North. There's no snow yet, but there is that little bit of a chill in the air. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening for baseball at the Rogers Center. As tonight, My Nine presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the first of three from Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. It's been a long road trip. 7 games so far, 3 different cities, and the Yankees have not been the Yankees really because they're not hitting the ball the way they normally do. They're 3-4 on this road trip to this point, averaging just 3.4 runs per game, batting average of .205. Now, is that unusual? Yes, because their season average is 5.9 with a .265 batting average. They've done a good job with the pitching, though, 3.39. That's why they're keeping afloat. So they need to find their bats, and CC Sabathia would love that as we take a look at tonight's pitching matchup. Brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. To get dunked, go to www.getdunked.com. Dustin McGowan is going to start for the Blue Jays. No record, 9.0 ERA. Sabathia for the Yankees, 19-8 with a 2.93 ERA. And John, of late, CC seems like it's been a battle every time out.
Well, his last outing against the Angels was perfectly described right there. It was a battle. Going for win number 20, he did not get it. His stuff was not good early on, and you can't say it was a bad outing. Only gave up 1 run in 6 innings, but he walked 4. He had a few strikeouts in the game. It took him 119 pitches to get through 6 innings. Your number 1 starter, even without his good stuff, only 1 run, but he did pick up the loss and looking for win number 20 here in Toronto.
And you like his chances because he has good numbers against the Blue Jays this year, 3-0, 2.59, and career against the Blue Jays, a 12-3 record with a 2.99 in 15 starts. Well, he's a power pitcher, and there's power in this ballpark today. Mark Teixeira's been hitting it out. Now, you know all about Jose Bautista, and of late, we've seen it from Robinson Cano. Lineups, first pitch, baseball, next. Bank, America's most convenient bank. Stop in for free TV checking. Check up today. First game of 3 here in Toronto. Now, remember, Wednesday in Seattle, Joe Girardi, the Yankee manager, said that Alex Rodriguez would be in the starting lineup tonight. He is not in the starting lineup tonight. And before the game, he spoke with the Yes Network's Kim Jones about that decision.
Yeah, took swings in the cage. He felt pretty good. And we just decided he probably wasn't going to play both of these games today and tomorrow. So why don't we just see how he feels tomorrow after taking the swings and taking a round of BP out here, and then we either get him today or tomorrow or maybe the next day.
So your plan is he'll be in the lineup tomorrow if he feels good as the DH or third baseman?
I'd probably put him at third base.
So do you look at this as any kind of a setback?
No, not really. He felt pretty good. He said, and you know, he's going to take BP, and he might even hit in 2 groups out here. So we want to see how it responds.
All right, he did take BP. He feels like he's okay. Has a specially designed bat with a little tape around where the thumb would be. So they're hoping to test it out tomorrow. What you worry about tonight is the Blue Jays take the field. There is the piece of tape that Alex hopes helps with that thumb. We'll see if it in fact does the job. Including tonight, there are just 13 games remaining in the regular season. Let's take a look at the New York Yankees starting lineup, which is brought to you by Time Warner Cable Roadrunner Broadband. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off, batting second, and playing center field, Curtis Granderson. Mark Teixeira's at first base, he'll hit third. Cleaning up, second baseman, Robinson Cano. Nick Swisher's in right field, he'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing third base, Eric Chavez. Jorge Posada gets started at the DH, he'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Russell Martin. Brett Gardner is in left field, he is going to bat ninth.
Well, Joe Girardi sends out that lineup against right-hander Dustin McGowan. Makes an emergency start for Brett Cecil, who cut his finger, and we'll look at the numbers. Rehabbing from some shoulder problems. 2 games, 1 start, an ERA of 9. 5 strikeouts in 7 innings, and we'll look at our Toronto Blue Jay pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-State Ford dealers. And he's an emergency starter because Brett Cecil cut his finger this afternoon, so McGowan gets a start. He's had 2 surgeries on that right shoulder, and because of that, he has missed the last 2 years, but he is a first-round pick in the year 2000, so the Blue Jays giving him a couple of years to rehab because of their investment in him, and he'll get an emergency start tonight.
Maybe he could prove something stepping in for Brett Cecil. So the Yankees and the Blue Jays are beginning of a 3-game set. And for the Yankees, they know the Red Sox are playing Tampa Bay, so they can gain on somebody that's right behind them. Yankees right now have a lead of 5 in the loss column over the Red Sox after the Red Sox lost last night to Tampa Bay. And today for the Red Sox, and we'll keep an eye on that game as we move along, it's going to be Josh Beckett. And we'll see how his ankle holds up against James Shields. So we'll be watching that as we mentioned. Well, Derek Jeter is stepping into the box. Dustin McGowan is on the rubber. And we're about ready for baseball here at Rogers Center. And amazingly enough, they're closing the roof at Rogers Center. And there's no rain. It's just a little bit of a chill in the air. Beautiful night. A little surprising. So Jeter's ready. McGowan's ready. Let's do it here in Toronto. And the first pitch is outside. And we're underway.
Well, we'll pay attention to McGowan coming back from 2 shoulder surgeries. You talk to people around the Blue Jays, they say he is all the way back, a fastball in the mid-90s. Saw the numbers, an ERA of 9, not very impressive in only a few outings. And we look at the resumes, first round pick in 2000, 75 games, 56 starts from 05 to 08, and then the shoulder injuries. So a knee injury mixed in there.
You know, we talk about this so much. It seems like the Tommy John surgery is so second nature. But when they're cutting into your shoulder, it's not an exact science.
And when I saw that ERA of 9, Michael, that's what I thought. I said, well, he can't be all the way back. But Buck Martinez, with some TV work here in Toronto, he says he's all the way back. Stuff is good.
Jeter couldn't get out of the way of that as he checked the swing, but fouled it off 2-2. Derek has a 13-game hitting streak. Two. 3-2. Now, it hasn't been a hit streak where he's hit 400. It's almost like that vitamin hit streak, one a day. He's 17 for 55 over his 13-game hitting streak. And the 3-2. Grounded to short. McCoy. One away. Tonight's closed captioning is brought to you by your local Lexus dealer. Yankees have a record of 90-58, which is outstanding, but then you look at their record in series openers, and they're just not getting off to a good start when they start a series of just 25-24. So that means they're winning games later in the series. Here's Curtis Granderson.
I was interested, Michael, to see the Yankees, how they come out tonight after an off day yesterday. I guess you consider it an off day, but getting in late or early in the morning here in Toronto yesterday. I'm sure a lot of sleeping during the day for the players and the staff. Not much of an off day. We'll see how they come out tonight.
And the broadcasters, too. Granderson has really struggled this month, hitting 188. On this road trip, 4 for 27. And Curtis's average is at 265.
All right, so what did the broadcaster do on his day off yesterday? Just sleep all day?
Didn't sleep all day, but a lot of the day. Got up at 3. Got to bed about 9:30 after unpacking. What should I have done?
Well, you would think you'd have a little better game plan, like try to sleep on the plane,
right?
Then stay up during the day, maybe work out a little bit, get a nice meal at dinner time, and then get a great night's sleep.
I did the nice meal. The 2-2. Strike 3. Granderson down.
Good curveball from McGowan. They say he's got the fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup, and Curtis Granderson gets a good look at the hook. Little back door freezes him. First strikeout of the night.
Here's Mark Teixeira. 3 infielders on the right side for the Yankee first baseman. Now you're surprised when they don't do that. The 1-0. 1-1.
Watch McGowan's fastball, a little bit of run away from the left-handers. Induces a lot of ground balls when he's right.
And right into the teeth of the shift. Johnson makes the play, and that will do it. So the Yankees go down in order, 1-2-3. Yankees nothing. And the Blue Jays come to bat against CC Sabathia. Toronto Blue Jays starting lineup, which is brought to you by Mazda. Zoom. Mike McCoy, the shortstop, will lead off, batting second. And playing left field, Eric Thames. Jose Bautista in right field will hit third. The cleanup hitter, the DH, Edwin Encarnacion. Adam Lind at first base will bat fifth, batting sixth. Playing third base, Brett Laurie. Colby Rasmus in center field just came up the DL. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, JP Arancibia. And Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, will bat ninth.
Well, that lineup for the Toronto Blue Jays will have their hands full tonight against the #1 starter for the New York Yankees, CC Sabathia. Take a look at his numbers on the year. 19-8 in ERA under 3, only 55 walks and 224 in the third innings. We will look at our New York Yankee pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. To get dunked, go to www.getdunked.com. That's GETDUNKD.com. Century mark, 100 start for CC tonight as a New York Yankee.
Pitch to McCoy is high.
And if he picks up his 20th win of the year, it'll be back-to-back 20-win seasons for CC Sabathia.
There's strike now. For bookkeeping purposes, the last out of the top of the first should be scored a 5-3 because it was Brett Laurie, the third baseman, who was moved over to the right side, and he's the one who made the play. 1-1. 1-2. This begins a 7-game homestand for the Blue Jays, 3 against the Yankees, and then 4 very big games against the LA Angels. Big for the Angels, as they're trying to catch the Rangers in the West. One-two. Check swing. CB Buckner agrees. Interesting stat about Sabathia. In his last 3 starts, he has thrown more pitches combined in those 3 starts than he has ever thrown in any 3 starts of his career. The 2-2. Off the glove of Sabathia, but in the center field for a base hit. Why don't we check out the Yankee defense behind Sabathia? In the outfield, it's Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher. That's left to right. In the infield, it's Chavez, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira, third to first. Martin behind the plate, and Karsten Charles Sabathia is on the mound.
You know, Michael, and look at the numbers for CC. His last 3 outings, he gave up 2 runs in 6 innings, 2 runs in 7 1/3, and 1 run in 6 innings, which tells you he's not struggling. But you look at the pitch count and the walk total, a little bit elevated.
Pitch to Thames is outside.
This is the time of year, mid-September. You really want to get everybody healthy, obviously, but you want to get them rolling in the right direction. If you're CC Sabathia, you want to lock it in your last couple of starts and hopefully take it into postseason play.
Count 1-1. See Thames, a left-handed batter, in his last start against the Angels did not have a lefty batter in their lineup. It was the first time he faced only right-handed batters in a game since May 14th of 2009, right here against Toronto. Grounded foul. New York Yankees baseball is broadcast in Spanish. It's available by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota is the #1 retail brand in America. Reassurance, only better.
Watching Mike McCoy take his lead off of first base, trying to time CC Sabathia in his delivery. And the Blue Jays will run this year, 124 stolen bases. It's 5th in the league, a little bit unusual for the Blue Jay teams that we've seen up here the last couple of years.
Has not allowed a stolen base in his last 9 starts. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Thames. 1 away.
Good slider for the strikeout. We actually saw a good slider to Mike McCoy, the leadoff hitter. He's looked early on to see what a pitcher has. It looks like CC early on, a good breaking ball.
Here's Jose Bautista. 0 for 18 lifetime against Sabathia. Neither one can explain it.
Well, you can look at those numbers two ways. I mean, it's only a matter of time before Bautista breaks out. He's too good of a hitter, having an MVP quality type year. 0 for 18, 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. You got to believe he is due against CC at some point.
And there it is. McCoy round second. He'll go to third, so Bautista gets his first hit against Sabathia. And the Blue Jays have runners on the corners and 1 out.
Well, you can see him joking that he wants that baseball, the first hit he's ever had against CC. For a guy who has 42 home runs, if you're CC Sabathia, this isn't the worst thing in the world. A little base hit the other way. McCoy travels all the way to third base, and the Blue Jays set up here in the first inning, first and third, 1 out.
Bautista has now reached safely in 125 of the 136 games this year. A lot of walks. He gets on base a lot. Encarnacion swings and misses.
Encarnacion now DHing with the addition of the good young third baseman Brett Lowry.
Grounded to third. Let's see if they turn 2. There's 1 on to first. And a bad throw by Cano. A run scores, and the Blue Jays lead 1-0. Cano had trouble transferring it to the bare hand, and then threw it wide.
You can see Robinson saying that's my fault, and we'll see Encarnacion rolls one over to Eric Chavez. The throw across looked like it was pretty good, maybe handcuffed Robinson a little bit, and then he yanks the throw. Kind of caught in between there where it's not above the belt. You have an easy transfer. And he planted on that right foot that he got hit the other night in Seattle. I wonder if that's a factor.
Here's Adam Lind. There's a strike in Boston. Top of the first inning. Evan Longoria with a 2-run home run against Josh Beckett. So the Rays off to an early lead.
Michael, you just don't know about Beckett with that ankle, that push-off ankle, how it's going to react. Boy, if he is not healthy, Red Sox are in trouble.
If he's not healthy, they have one reliable starter. It's John Lester. And the Rays tested Beckett's ankle right away. Desmond Jennings bunted the first pitch, and Beckett threw it away. Runner goes, 1-2. In the dirt, blocked there by Martin, but nothing he could do. A stolen base for Encarnacion.
First stolen base against CC Sabathia in a long time. Encarnacion picked the right pitch, a slider down in the dirt. Nothing that Russell Martin can do. With 2 strikes, you got to make sure you keep this ball in front.
Swing and a miss. And Lind down on strikes. But the Blue Jays score 1 run on 2 hits. 1 man left. We played 1. It's 1-0 Toronto. Selection and great offers at your Honda dealer today. Inexplicably, the roof is closing. Just that much more. It's a gorgeous night.
You know, he stepped out of the hotel, and I come up to Toronto. I never prepare with the clothing. I mean, a little chill in the air. It just makes you feel like October.
Right. Makes you feel
up a little bit. Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
I don't get it. When we go to the second inning, Robinson Cano will lead off. He really got hit hard on that right foot in the game on Wednesday. But he's a tough guy and a quick healer, and he's in the lineup. Pitch is low, 1-0.
I think Robinson understands his responsibility, obviously, in this lineup, and 111 RBIs. With Alex Rodriguez not playing again tonight, he is in there, although he's banged up a little bit.
Grounded and past a diving Lind, and up against the wall down the right field line. Cano's going for 2. Testing the arm of Bautista. He's out. Bautista has one of the best arms in baseball, and he fired a P to McCoy to get Cano stretching.
You know what, Michael, I didn't see Bautista in the corner how he played this because I was watching Robinson Cano out of the box and paying attention to how he was running with that right foot. But the spin and the throw right on the actually off a little bit. A great tag by Mike McCoy coming back, and we'll see if they get Robinson Cano, and it looks like they do. Robinson was running pretty well. He kind of slowed up going around first base, planting on that right foot, and it might have cost them.
Here's Nick Swisher. So the Yankees have their first hit, but quickly erased.
Running pretty good, and then he slows down just a little bit, doesn't really plant off of first base and push off, and then the slide a little bit slow.
That's a great tag by McCoy. The 0-1. 1-1. It's the only place he could have really tagged him. Bottom of the foot. Count 1-2.
See, McCoy takes the throw wide and dives back right to the corner of the base where you expect a base runner to slide. Dan Iasonia, the second base umpire, all over it.
One, 2. Grounded to third. Brett Lawrie. 2 outs.
Michael, it's got to be such a tough time of the year for Joe Girardi to manage these games. You're all banged up with a lot of your players. You know, if you win some games, you might be able to get some time off. And where do you push it? You know, do you play them now? Might injure themselves a little bit more. Do you give them days off when you still have a race, a pennant race in the AL East? Gene Monahan, trainer, Steve Donahue, assistant trainer. I'm sure a lot of conversations with the manager trying to figure out who's available.
Tap slowly to Lawrie. Charges. And they get Chavez for the final out of the second. No runs a hit. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Blue Jays. To MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. When we go to the second, Brett Lawrie leads off. Pitch is inside. This kid has been a revelation. The Honda scoreboard. Yankees trail 1-0. Began his big league career on August 5th. 40 hits, 9 home runs, and 23 ribbies. Over that span, no other big league third baseman has equaled or exceeded his totals in any of those 3 categories. And you talk to the Blue Jay coaching staff, they can't stop raving about him. They gave up a good player to get him, Sean Markham, to the Brewers, but Lawrie's from Canada. He could be a huge star here. Driven the other way. And make the seats foul.
I think what gets a coaching staff all excited when you have a young player come up and he has all the physical tools, and you see the resume, 16th overall pick in 08 by the Brewers, acquired in the trade, in the Markham trade, 40th best prospect by Baseball America in 2011. He has all the tools, but he also has the makeup, a guy who goes out there and plays hard every day, wants to win, type of player you might build an organization around.
Yankees had to play beautifully. Right there was Cano. One away. That's going to bring up Colby Rasmus. He just came off the DL. He had a jammed right wrist. He played 4 games in New Hampshire, which is the AA affiliate for the Blue Jays. He was 3 for 15 in those 4 games. They got him in a complicated multi-team trade from the Cardinals, and bottom line is Tony La Russa didn't like Colby Rasmus, didn't like his dad. I guess they would call a dad like that a stage dad. Has a lot of say in the son, his swing and all that. La Russa didn't want any part of it.
He was involved in the organization like his dad was?
No, he was involved with him. You know, he's a hands-on dad. And he thought the dad was just too much. Yeah, too much. There's a complicated trade. And some of those players went to other teams. Well, Rasmus is the type of guy that has a lot of talent. You can tap into it.
Now you wonder, since he came over here to Toronto, is the father on the outs now? I mean, is he still involved? Sounds like that's probably something that has to be addressed.
Well, why is that such a bad thing? The father knows his swing better than anybody. He probably developed his swing.
Well, obviously, we don't know all the information. It might have just been too much. And Tony La Russa, obviously proud of his staff and the job that they do. Mark McGuire, right, the hitting instructor there.
Swing and a miss. Rasmus down.
Again, it's that slider from Cece. It looks like he has a good one early on. A couple of strikeouts in the first inning. 3rd strikeout in the night here from Rasmus, and a good slider down and away.
Boston gets a run in the bottom of the 1st against James Shields, so it's Tampa Bay 2, Boston 1. We'll follow that throughout. Here's JP Arancibia. Pitch outside. 23 home runs for Arancibia, the most by an American League rookie catcher since Matt Noakes in 1987. Matt actually played for the Yankees and really had one of the great lines that I ever came across as a newspaper writer. He caught a no-hitter. Or he was a Yankee took a no-hitter into the 8th inning and they lost it. And we asked Matt after the game, have you ever caught a no-hitter? He goes, I don't remember.
Don't remember.
Now, you would think that would be something that would stick with you.
Yeah.
He didn't remember. It was great. But that was Matt. One and 2 to Arancibia. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 2nd. High pop. Jeter makes the play for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. We played 2 in Toronto. The New York Yankees trail the Blue Jays 1-0 on my 9. If the playoffs started today, who do you think should be the Yankees starting pitcher for Game 2? Should it be A, A.J. Burnett, B, Bartolo Colon, C, Freddie Garcia, D, Phil Hughes, or E, Ivan Nova? Text A, B, C, D, or E to 70377 or go to my9tv.com. Find out the results right after the game. It's Take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota. Here's Posada. 1-0. 2-0. These are the type of games for Jorge where he's been put in a position where he really has to produce in these games and not go 1 for 4. He's got to really open up eyes so that he's in another game, and maybe he could push the envelope and be included on the postseason roster. 1 for 3 isn't even good enough. So he's got to do a lot of damage. That's a hard thing to do, John, when you don't play a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. We're talking about a guy who's auditioning for a postseason roster after all he has done through his career and done in the postseason, but that's the situation he is in. Being a switch hitter helps him a little bit. Batting right-handed has not been his strength this year.
Count 3-1.
You're right, Michael. Base hit the other way, 1 for 4 isn't going to get the job done. Good count right here, 3-1. McGowan with that good sinking fastball. Jorge probably going to get a good pitch to hit.
Takes it right down the middle, 3-2.
I get some bad information too on the velocity in McGowan. I was told he was mid-90s, pretty much 91, 92. With that good movement down and away.
Here's the 3-2. Grounded to second. Kelly Johnson, 1 away. That'll bring up Russell Martin. Martin 0 for his last 9. Had a tough go of it in the Seattle series. There's a strike. So what do you think of McGowan so far?
Well, I'm impressed with his slider. He's only thrown it a few times, but it has good sharp break on it. Good velocity, good movement. We've already seen a good curveball to strike out Curtis Granderson. So far, so good. There's that slider. It surprised me looking at the numbers, Michael, for Toronto. Their ERA 4.38 as a staff, which is 11th in the league. I really expected them to take a jump this year with their good young pitching, and it hasn't happened. And McGowan getting an opportunity here in September open up some eyes for next year.
One thing that the Blue Jays are known for is they have a lot of patience with their pitchers, and our colleague Al Leiter is a perfect example, dating back to way back then in the late 80s. He didn't pitch for them for 3 years, and they hung with him. They kept signing him to deals, and they said, you don't give up on yourself, we won't give up on you. So McGowan's been given a long leash. On the board out there, Martin's Canadian, so he gets the leaf up there. Usually it's just the Blue Jays that get the leaf. Martin's a huge fan of the Montreal Canadiens. Loves hockey, and I said, how come you didn't become a hockey player? And he looked at me like I was out of my mind. I said, because I wasn't good. I was better in baseball. Born in Toronto and grew up in Montreal. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, the best fastball we have seen from McGowan, and he set Russell Martin up with a lot of sliders. He was able to sneak a fastball by him down and in. 0 for 9 for Russell Martin turns into an 0 for 10.
Here's Brett Gardner. Gardner 3 for 20 so far on this road trip. Fastball's high. It's amazing how many times guys come to the ballpark not thinking they're going to pitch, and they make an emergency start, and they pitch better than if they had been warned that they were going to start. Brett Cecil was the original starter, cut his finger, and McGowan just stepped in. So far, has done well.
Yeah, McGowan, a guy who has been a starting pitcher before all of his shoulder problems, so not something that is. It's not like he's a guy who's pitched out of the bullpen his whole career and gets an emergency start. You get a look at Cecil.
Cecil cut his hand today cleaning a blender.
Can happen.
3-0. And Gardner walks. So last week we got the pitcher on the Giants, whose name is escaping me right now. He cut his finger separating frozen hamburgers. And now the old blender trick. Here's Derek Jeter, who grounded to short in the first inning. Jeremy Affeldt was the one who cut his finger separating frozen burgers. Derek on this road trip, 8 for 31. We told you he has a 13-game hitting streak. He's at 294. Runner goes. Throw to second. Not nearly in time. Stolen base for Gardner.
44th stolen base of the year. Aaron Sibiak throws from his knees, and it's a little high, and a tough slide by Brett Gardner. A slider down and away. The high throw from his knees. The way things have been going with the New York Yankees, you hold your breath when you see this slide if you're Joe Girardi. You'll need your starting left fielder with another ache or pain.
10th stolen base for Gardner against the Jays. Here's Derek Jeter with a 1-1 count. Nice block there by Aaron Sibiak. 44 stolen bases for Gardner, so he leads the American League. "16 straight seasons for Jeter with 150 or more hits. Only two other players in Major League history have done it: Hank Aaron and Pete Rose." Runner goes. Throw to third. Not in time. Stolen base for Gardner.
Well, Michael, in our open, you told us about the Yankees and how they've been struggling offensively on this trip. And one way to solve that is the running game. Brett Gardner, a good jump. With 2 outs, you better be sure you can steal third base, and he gets in there easily.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 2 at the plate. Runner at third. And the pitch. 3-2.
Good take right there on that slider from McGowan. That was a perfect pitcher's pitch. Started out on the outside corner and then dove just off. Derek Jeter does not even flinch, which tells me he's seeing the ball good out of the hand. Good take right there.
Swing and a miss, got him. So he strikes out Jeter on the breaking ball. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Go to the bottom of the third. Blue Jays 1, Yankees nothing. And as we move along, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. 2-2 now, top of the second, Tampa Bay and Boston. Kelly Johnson will lead off against Sabathia. There's a strike. Swing and a miss. The 0-2. 1-2. CC is working with 5 days between starts. 11 previous starts with an extra day rest. 7-3, 3.09. 18 starts on normal rest. 12-5, 2.69. Laced in the left field, base hit for Kelly Johnson.
Well, Johnson, who came over from Arizona in the Aaron Hill trade, has some pop. You saw the 20 home runs on the season. Nice job of hitting here. Fastball out over the plate. Slaps it the other way.
McCoy with a push bunt, fielded by Teixeira, and McCoy is safe. CC didn't come off the bag, and Cano was trying to get there but couldn't get there in time, so a base hit for McCoy.
I'm not quite sure why Mark Teixeira didn't go to second base. It was a hard bunt from McCoy, almost like a ground ball. CC doesn't go over to cover first. Robinson Cano covers first, but it's going to be late. And you can see when he spins, he might have a play at second base. He decides to go to first. Can't make up the ground.
Here's Eric Thames, struck out in the first inning. And he squares the bunt and takes low. Well, things have certainly changed since J.P. Ricciardi was here with his Moneyball theories. They do not believe in giving away outs with sacrifice bunts. And they don't like to steal bases. They say you have to cherish each one of the 27 outs. The 1-0. Driven deep to center field. Granderson will make the play. Both runners tag. Johnson goes to third. McCoy heads back to first.
Thames hits it a long way. You wonder if he sacrificed bunted, if the Yankees would have just walked. Bautista coming up to the plate right now. Now was first and third. That's obviously not going to happen. They'll have a chance to swing the bat here.
You think Mike McCoy is thinking that far ahead and why he didn't go for second, John?
No, I don't think he could have got the second on that play from Curtis Granderson, but I think if Thames laid down a sacrifice bunt, obviously you would have second and third.
Well, how about if McCoy could have gone to second?
I think he should stay. I think the way it worked out right now is perfect for the Blue Jays and John Farrell, and you have your best hitter up there now with an opportunity to swing the bat.
Picked up his first hit ever against Sabathia in the first inning, grounded a single through the right side, so 1 for 19.
See that swing for Bautista right there. CC has just enough of a fastball inside that he's got to open up a little bit. Once his front hip leaves a little bit early, it's respect to the velocity of the fastball from CC inside. Maybe why he's had a tough time.
Tonight's league leaders home run wise brought to you by New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. 42 home runs for Bautista. Granderson's been stuck at 39. Then Teixeira at 37. Albert Pujols at 35. So that's the major league home run leader list. 2-1. Bautista, the only player in the majors this season with at least 40 home runs, 100 runs, 100 ribbies, and 100 walks. .40 pitches for Sabathia, 26 strikes. September 09, he changed his swing, changed his game, changed his life. 106 home runs in 327 games.
He went from a nice little utility player, backup player, home run leader.
And walks. He does a lot of that. So the bases are loaded.
Well, CC's had the ability to make big pitches when he has needed to this entire season and his entire Yankee career. The situation right here with Encarnacion, he got him to hit a ground ball to Eric Chavez his last time up. We'll see if he can do it again.
Infield at double play depth. 95 miles an hour, swung on and missed. Johnson's at third, McCoy at second, Bautista at first. 1-1. Count 1 and 2. They play Encarnacion to pull. Gardner deep and left, close to the line. Granderson a couple steps toward left center, and Nick Swisher in right center. And the infield kind of pinched up the middle.
Time for Russell Martin to go have a conversation here, obviously looking for a strikeout or a ground ball. Slider has been the big pitch for CC early on, picking up a few strikeouts.
Pitch is high. Encarnacion, good numbers lifetime with the bases loaded. 337. 3 grand slams. Now the count is full, so CC's got to throw a striker. He's going to force in a run.
We'll see what CC Sabathia is thinking right here. 3-2. He's shown a good fastball, good velocity. I got to believe if he throws a slider anywhere near the strike zone, Encarnacion will be swinging.
Little fastball.
He's got a good one. It's been better here in the third inning, mid-90s. That one at 96, coming right at Encarnacion, saying, "Here's my best fastball. Let's see what you can do with it."
Grounded right back to Sabathia. He comes home for one. They'll go to first. It's a double play. Mark Teixeira's complaining about something. I don't know if Encarnacion got him on the way by, but it's a double play nonetheless. 1, 2, 3. And Mark looks a little bit perturbed. Right back to Sabathia. A decent play. Fires a strike home. And then on the first for the double play. McDonald's today for some juicy, tender chicken McNuggets. Which two players recorded their 3,000th hit on this date, both in the 90s? And the best we can decipher about what happened at first, John, is that I guess Teixeira thought that Encarnacion was out of the baseline.
Which he was. He was running in the field to play, but you wonder why he made such a big deal about it. I mean, the double play was executed out of the inning, and we'll see Encarnacion, a ground ball right back to CC. He's running well inside that baseline. Russell Martin's the one who had to throw around him. Again, CC Sabathia making a big pitch when he had to.
Now the rule is, John, let's say if Russell Martin squarely hits him in the back, he's out.
He's out.
So I don't know what the argument is, because C.B. Buckner couldn't make the call unless the guy got hit with the ball.
You wonder maybe if Mark just saying, hey, pay attention to this later on in the game, later on in the series, could be a factor, but Surprised he made that big of a deal when you executed the double play and got out of the inning.
1-2 count on Granderson as we move to the fourth. Still 1-2. Yankees have 2 more games against the Blue Jays, then they head home for a long week. They play 8 games in 7 days. The 1-2. Missed outside check. Yes, he did, said Dale Scott. The 2-2. 3-2. And Granderson works a walk. Well, this weekend on the Yes Network, the Yankees continue their quest for the American League East crown when they battle the Blue Jays here in Toronto. Coverage is going to start tomorrow at noon without a batting practice today, and then the Tri-State Ford pregame. And then Sunday, complete coverage of the series finale will start at 12:30. It's only on Yes. Big weekend here in Toronto. Yankees try to nail down a playoff spot first, and then the American League East after that. Here's Mark Teixeira. There's the strike. Now, if you're into magic numbers, the magic number to get into the playoffs is 7. And to win the American League East, it's 10. So the magic number of 7 would be whittled off with Yankee wins or Tampa Bay Ray losses, and the Yankee number to clinch in the East, because the Red Sox are in second place, it would be a combination of Yankee wins and Red Sox losses. The 0-1. 0-2.
You just saw that shift there, Michael. The Blue Jays still shifting Mark Teixeira even with a runner on first base. Third base completely unoccupied. Curtis Granderson, if he was thinking about stealing a bag, would be able to scoot into second and continue on to third. The Blue Jays aren't on top of it.
The 0-2. Grounded to second. On to third. Back to first. Not in time. So the third baseman caught the ball, so 5-6 on the fielder's choice.
Laurie, the underhand throw a little bit high to Mike McCoy, and Mark Teixeira busting it down the line will be able to beat it out easily. High underhand flip probably cost McCoy the opportunity for the double play, and a good aggressive slide by Curtis Granderson. Long underhand flip from Laurie.
You know what I don't understand about that shift that they're employing? Why would you put the third baseman in a position where he's uncomfortable when McCoy has played second base?
But see, this is one that I have an answer to.
Okay.
I did a little research today.
Okay.
And Laurie, actually, when he was with the Brewers, played second base.
Ground ball to first. There's one. And there's nobody covering first. Lynn never went back to cover first. It would have been a hard time to double up Cano.
Gowan getting plenty of ground balls. Robinson Cano rolls it over. Adam Lynn, the throw to second base, a little bit slow on the transfer, and I think McCoy looks and says we do not have a play on Robinson Cano.
So there's your answer.
There's the answer. He played second base in the minor leagues. He switched from catcher to second base because he knew the Brewers had a lot of prospects at behind the plate. They were a little short at second base, so he switched during spring training one year. So he has some experience there.
He looked a little uncomfortable with that throw, though.
Well, I mean, maybe he didn't realize how long the flip was, the underhand flip.
Now, you would think McCoy has also played second base.
Well, you want to go break it down with John Farrell and figure out. He's got a lot of options out there.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to break it down with Butterfield tomorrow.
That's the guy.
He's the infield guy. I will go down there and do it.
And he'll give you a very well-educated answer about why they do it.
I hope he does, because I'm ready to debate him.
So what would you do? You'd put Laurie at shortstop then?
Yeah,
where maybe he's a little bit more uncomfortable?
But he's still on the same side of the diamond.
Yeah, but he's playing shortstop now instead of a position second
base. Where's he playing right now?
Before.
Where's he playing right now?
He's playing abbreviated third.
Okay. Looks like shortstop to me. The 0-2. Low 1 and 2. One nothing. Blue Jays lead the Yankees top of the fourth inning. Ripped into right center field. It's a base hit. Cutting over is Rasmus. He can't get there. It goes to the wall. Cano rounds third. They're sending him home. He'll score. It's an RBI double for Swisher, and the game is tied at 1.
You wonder if that 2-out RBI double by Nick Swisher might wake the Yankees up a little bit. They really have not been swinging the bats at all against Dustin McGowan through 4 innings in this game. Nick Swisher, a big hit with 2 outs. Finally gets something up out over the plate that he can drive, and Robinson Cano with 2 outs running on contact will score easily to tie this ball game up. The Yankees, except for Robinson Cano, his first at bat, really have not hit any balls hard against McGowan. Robinson looks like he's running okay after being hit in the right foot in Seattle. Good news for the Yankees.
RBI number 82 for Swisher. He's at second with Chavez at the plate. One and 0. Two-0. 3-0. Got Posada on deck.
Got to believe Eric has a green light if he finds something that he likes here. 3-0 with 2 outs. With Swisher in scoring position.
Where's the strike? Chavez has played 5 games so far on this road trip, 5 for 15. Done a good job for the Yankees this year. DL stint, understood, but when he's in there, gives him a quality glove and some timely hitting. That one's driven deep to center field. Backing up Rasmus on the track at the wall. See ya! A 2-run home run for Eric Chavez. And the Yankees lead 3-1.
Michael, you just said it, timely hitting from Eric Chavez all year, but his second home run of the year right there. 3-0 was a fastball right down the middle. Eric did not pull the trigger, but 3-1. He pretty much got the same pitch, was ready to hit early, Gets good extension out over the plate. Dead center field. Rasmus runs out of room. Big 2-run home run with 2 outs by Eric Chavez. Got that good sound off the bat.
Posada with a high fly ball to right center. Rasmus is there, and he'll put it away, but not before the Yankees do some damage. They score 3 runs on 2 hits, the double by Swisher, and a 2-run home run by Eric Chavez right over the center field wall. We played 3.5. Yankees lead 3-1. Both in the 1990s. Big 3,000 hit date right here. Dave Winfield and Paul Molitor. Hot shot up the middle and through for a base hit. Adam Lind leads off the 4th with a single.
Well, Adam Lind not wasting any time. First pitch swinging, fastball out over the plate, right back up the middle. Batting average a little bit low, but the power is still there. 24 home runs and 80 RBIs for Lind.
Tampa Bay is now taking a 3-2 lead over the Red Sox. I believe it's in the 3rd. Here's Brett Lawrie. And a strike. 3-1, Yankees lead. Speaking of the Twins with the Winfield and the Molitor 3,000 hit, they get more bad news today, John. It's unbelievable. If it could go wrong for the Twins this year, it did. Joe Mauer has a mild case of pneumonia, and the Twins say his season is likely over. Last year was such a great year, the first year of their ballpark. Bernard Span with concussion symptoms. Morneau still battling that. Mauer started off the season on the DL. Now he's going to end it on the DL. Maybe they won't put him on the DL because of the expanded rosters, but just a mess. Now, speaking of concussion syndrome or symptoms, Joe Girardi said we're planning on not having Cervelli for the rest of the year as he continues to recover from a slight concussion. And he got it in a collision at home plate.
Now, what is he suffering? Headaches, dizziness, things like that?
Yep. He's going to have more tests next week to see where he is on the baseline.
You know, and I remember watching that play in Baltimore and how Cervelli came up afterward, and you could tell he was seeing stars and was kind of out of it a little bit. You figured there would be some repercussions from that hit.
Doesn't it make it more impressive when we look at it, John, that he held on to the ball?
Yeah, it was a bang-bang play. A great relay throw by Robinson Cano, and then Francisco turns in there, takes the shoulder right to the face mask. But it was the look when he came up, and I remember that look all too well, where you got the stars.
Lowry strikes out after being up in the count 3-1.
CC Sabathia coming right at him with that fastball. I mentioned the slider early on was the impressive pitch. Now all of a sudden the fastball and the velocity right by the young third baseman. Well, with Cervelli out, there's got to be some auditions behind the plate, right? Austin Romine, yeah. Montero.
Austin Romine probably going to be the backup catcher.
Now, you've seen both of them catch in big league games. What'd you think? I mean, Romine, I've seen him in spring training on TV. Looks real smooth behind the plate.
Well, we had 6 innings of Montero. You can see he's going to have trouble with balls in the dirt. One went right between his legs. Romine, we saw an inning and 1 game in 3 innings. So our sample size isn't that much. He's from the scouting reports we get, John, and you've heard him too. He's the better defender, and Montero's the better hitter.
And obviously, you're talking about a backup catcher in a playoff game situation. You're really going to go with the defense behind the plate.
And in all likelihood, John, Martin's going to play every inning of every game.
Well, you hope that there's not an injury there.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. 1-2. It's going to be interesting to see how the Yankees put together their roster. Now, they won't talk about it now because Joe said, well, I want to make it first before we even broach that. You know, who's going to be their starters? What's their 25-man going to look like? A lot of decisions have to be made. A 1-2. Swing and a miss. Rasmus strikes out. Tuesday night, the Yankees are taking on the Rays, and My 9 has your ticket. Now, it's all starting at 7 p.m. as the Bombers fight to stay on top of the American League East, so don't miss a pitch. Yankees and the Rays, Tuesday at 7 here on My 9. Yankees are going to play a huge, I mean humongous role in whether or not Boston loses a playoff spot, because the Yankees, starting on Tuesday, have 7 games left with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa is a scary team right now with that pitching staff, young and healthy. B.J. Upton starting to get hot a little bit. Desmond Jennings getting it done. What a scary team if they can find their way into postseason play.
Yankees lead 3-1. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Runner on first. 2 outs. Aaron Sivia hits a high drive to deep left. Backing up Gardner. He's on the track at the wall, and he makes the play. So Gardner takes an extra base hit away from Aaron Sivia. Obviously, it would not have gone out, but it would have hit off the wall and been extra bases. No runs a hit. 1 man left. Gardner goes up and comes down with the ball. Prudential, bring your challenges. That was some play, John.
Well, it was a good play by Brett Gardner, getting to the wall first of all, and then timing the leap of your jump. Obviously, it would not have been a home run, but a nice athletic play. CC Sabathia appreciates it.
And Dustin McGowan deals to Russell Martin. Pitch inside, 1-0. Grounded up the middle, McCoy. That ball looked like it took 2 different turns. I don't know if it had cue ball spin on it, something like that, but it bounced different ways.
Yeah, I think it's right off the end of the bat, which puts a lot of spin on the baseball, and then it actually will spin back towards center field. McCoy charging, makes the play. My first thought is a seam in the turf, but obviously this new field turf does not have the seams. The old AstroTurf.
Here's Gardner. How often does a guy make a really good play in the field and then bat second the next inning? Beautiful bunt. Will it stay fair? No, it will not. Making it not so beautiful. Last time Gardner walked in, stole second and stole third. Jesse Litch getting ready in the Toronto bullpen.
Well, I'm sure pitch count is going to be a factor with McGowan. We have a couple of years of rehab. 70th pitch coming up.
Ground ball to second. Johnson for the second out.
The Blue Jays have something with McGowan, though. Looks like he's got some pretty good stuff. A good mix with the curveball, slider, changeup, sinker. Keep him healthy. Look forward to seeing him in spring training if you're a Blue Jay fan.
Here's the captain, 0 for 2, down to 294. 13-game hitting streak on the line.
You see that batting average at 294, Michael. You know Derek Jeter would love to hit 300 here. A couple of weeks left. If you can get hot after the way his season started, it'd be quite an accomplishment to finish up over 300.
Bottom of the third, Tampa Bay and Boston tied again at 3. So Beckett and Shields not shutting down the respective offenses. Well, the Red Sox have to be a little worried when they get into close games because their bullpen is starting to wear thin a bit. Matt Albers has been struggling, and Daniel Bard has also struggled a lot of late. Papelbon's having a great year, and the savior of that bullpen has been Alfredo Aceves, pitching in any role and pitching effectively. The Yankees will see the Red Sox next weekend at the stadium, a 3-game set. And the 0-2 bounced up there. A 1-2 to Jeter. Strike 3. Jeter down looking. He is not in love with that call. And he talks things over with Jerry Meals as the Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. The end of 4.5. We're halfway through. Yankees up by 2. State Ford dealers. Roger Maris hits his 57th home run of the season off Tigers pitcher Frank Larry, known as the Yankee Killer, at Tiger Stadium. Yankees on the 23rd doing a really neat thing. They're bringing back members of the Maris family and the Mantle family and Sal Durante, who caught the ball. Yogi's going to be there. A lot of Rogers' former teammates, Whitey Ford, and they're going to honor the day when it all happens. So we're looking forward to that. That should be a great event at the stadium a week from today. See the Prudential scoreboard. Yankees 3-1 over the Blue Jays. Blooped into center field. It's a base hit. So Kelly Johnson 2 for 2 against Sabathia.
Yeah, you can see Kelly Johnson's approach too. He's not trying to pull CC Sabathia at all, just blocking the ball off the other way. First at bat, it was a pitch out over the plate. This one was supposed to be a fastball in, and it's just middle. Gets jammed a little bit. A good approach, left on left for Kelly Johnson.
4 out of 5 innings, the leadoff hitter has been on against Sabathia, making it tough. Means he's pitching out of the stretch an awful lot. There's a strike to McCoy. You have to wonder what Kelly Johnson's feeling. He was in a great pennant race. He'd been with the Diamondbacks. Looks like they're going to make the postseason. Now, this is a beautiful city and a nice facility and a nice franchise, but they're not making the playoffs. So he got traded from that to this, and it took him a while to get his bearings and also to just readjust.
You know, I don't care what any player says. Anytime you get traded, it's a big-time adjustment going to a new city, a new organization, new teammates. It takes a while to settle in, especially the thrill of a pennant race with Arizona here to Toronto, which is having a respectable season, but not in the AL East. It's time for adjustments.
And not only the thrill of a pennant race, John, the thrill of a pennant race they weren't expected to be in.
Yeah.
So they were surprising everybody. It was a little engine that could, and I give the Diamondbacks credit because they wanted to tighten up their defense and get more offense up the middle and cut down on their strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Speaking of strikeouts, as McCoy goes down. Monday night, the Giants are back on My 9. It all starts at 8 p.m. with the Giants kickoff presented by Toyota. Then it's game time as Big Blue, who are hungry for their first win, they take on the Rams. Giants and the Rams, Monday starting at 8 p.m. right here on My 9. Here's Eric Thames. Don't want to put pressure on the Giants, John, because that's not my way.
No, it's not you.
But this is close to a must-win for them because their last 9 games might be the toughest stretch that any team has. So if they don't pick up a lot of wins in their first 7 games, if they lose on Monday, they'll be 0-2. They could be in a lot of trouble.
It was a tough week for Giant fans in New York. You know, as Jet fans, we didn't have those worries. We sat back and enjoyed a good Good win in week 1.
Were you at the Jet game, John?
I was at the opener. I was. Stayed to the end.
You felt good about it when they were down by 14 in the
No,
fourth?
not at all. No, I didn't feel good about it for 3 quarters.
Okay.
But you know what? Good teams find a way to win ball games.
You're right. It was a great game. I know Rex watches the Yankees, so good luck against the Jaguars on Sunday.
You call that a trap game? Jaguar game?
I don't know.
A little letdown?
You know what? The letdown was falling behind by 14, so maybe that'll teach them a lesson. And good luck to Tom Coughlin. The 2-1. Check swing. 2-2. Thames is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly ball to center.
Kind of liking CC Sabathia's attitude here in the middle of this ball game. Really going with that fastball. Starting to attack a little bit. You get the feeling the Yankees been struggling offensively a little bit lately. You give your #1 starter a 2-run lead, they'll find a way to win it.
Pop foul, long run for Chavez. And runs out of room. Runner was going. Two. Thames swings and misses.
Well, CC threw Thames a fastball inside. It opened up the outside corner with that good slider down and away. You see the look of frustration. Tough at bat for any major league hitter, especially a young left-handed hitter.
Here's Jose Bautista. 1 for 1 with a walk. There's a strike.
Obviously, Bautista with the 42 home runs, 100 RBIs, a focal point of the lineup when the Yankees go through their advanced scouting reports. Do not let this guy beat you.
Another breaking ball in there for a strike. Bottom of the 5th, Yankees lead 3-1. A double by Swisher tied the game at 1. And then Eric Chavez with a 2-run home run over the wall in center gave the Yankees a 3-1 lead. That's where we are right now. Bottom of the 5th, runner on first with 2 outs. For Chavez, his 2nd home run of the year.
Three sliders in a row to Bautista. Russell Murray going to have a conversation with CC about that. Impresses me about Bautista, Michael. I mean, obviously now he's a big power hitter in that MVP race, but he's gotten smarter as a hitter, knowing that pitchers are not just going to challenge him with fastballs. He kind of looks for off-speed pitches and fastball counts now. .42 home runs and the 100 RBIs, but the batting average over 300. Not just a power hitter, a very, very good hitter. The average is an example of that.
Dating back to the start of last season, John, 218 walks for Bautista. No player has that many. So he's not jumping out of his shoes. And that's one of his pleas he makes to the MVP voters. He said, you know, Granderson might have more runs scored, other people might have more ribbies, and there's the MVP candidates. He said, but I've got to be driven in once I'm on base, he said, and there have to be people on base in order for me to drive them in. Kind of taking a subtle shot at his teammates. But it does make some sense.
Yeah, he just watches at bats now. I mean, he's behind in the count 0-2 with 2 good sliders. He's fought all the way back to 3-2. He's not just going up there hacking, swinging for home runs. Good hitter who has an idea and a game plan every at bat.
And he walks again. In order for them to have pitchers pitched to Bautista, they've got to have somebody of danger behind them. And Encarnacion's a nice player, but you'd much rather pitch to Edwin Encarnacion than Jose Bautista.
Yeah, and that's what impresses me even more about the numbers for Bautista. I mean, he's being pitched around constantly to get to Encarnacion or Adam Lind, who's ever hitting behind him on that particular day. But I don't know if an MVP can be on a team that's not going to the playoffs.
Obviously, there's precedent to it, but when there are guys on teams going to playoffs with great years, it's hard. Guys like Ripken and Dawson, they had such better years than everybody else, and their teams finished last. But if there are guys having great years like Verlander and Granderson and the like, and Gonzalez, it's going to be tough. Those that vote for a guy like Bautista, it's hard to be the most valuable player on a team that's going to finish 4th. They're voting for the best player. Some people interpret MVP as the best player. Are you in the camp that you don't think a pitcher should win an MVP?
I don't think a starting pitcher should. You know, going out there once every 5th day, getting 34 starts a year. He's having an unbelievable year, easily the Cy Young Award winner. But I mean, it's those guys who go out there every day. And, you know, I was lucky enough to play with Ken Caminiti in '96 when he was the MVP. He basically carried that team every day.
Count 3-1.
All of a sudden, that pitch count for CC elevated with 2 outs in the 5th inning. He's kind of cornered into a fastball count here to Encarnacion. Dangerous count.
The bases are loaded. Larry Rothschild wants to have a talk.
Back-to-back walks, and when you watch the delivery, everything up, out over the plate, falling off the mound a little bit towards third base. Larry Rothschild going to go give him a little bit of break here with 2 outs. Maybe also fix the mechanics.
And again, you see this number here, John. 4th straight game with a high pitch count. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Jerry Meal's cap is way too tight. I mean, he's cutting off circulation. See that line across his head?
I saw it, and I was going to make a comment about heads and caps, but I decided to hold off.
Oh, so you were going to swing at my...
No, that's just the first thought that comes to mind.
But I wasn't saying that Jerry had a big head. I just said that the hat's too small.
Well, I mean, the poor guy's got a hat and a mask. He's working hard back there.
Look at the hat.
Maybe he should have kept the hat on when he went out to the mound.
Here's Adam Lind. Check swing. And the count 1-0.
Everybody's trying to figure out if that was a strike or a ball. Russell Martin was talking to Jerry Meals. Now Adam Lind.
It's a ball. going to be over the head of Gardner and up against the wall. Johnson scores. Bautista scores. Here comes Encarnacion. He'll score. It's a bases clearing double by Lind. And the walks burn Sabathia as the Blue Jays now lead 4-3.
Back-to-back walks, and then again pitching behind in the count. Fastball away to Adam Lind, and he scorches this ball the other way. Over the head of Brett Gardner. Everybody is on the move with 2 outs. And the only question was, can Encarnacion score from first on the double the other way? And the answer is yes, as the ball bounces over Brett Gardner's head. Toronto takes the lead.
Brett Laurie takes a strike. Missed outside. 1-2. "30 pitches this inning." Foul ball. Boston's taking a 4-3 lead over Tampa Bay in the bottom of the 4th inning. Missed inside. Still throwing hard, 96 miles an hour. But the location is off this inning. CC looking for his 20th win. Two. 3-2.
Lefties have made CC Sabathia pay a little bit. Adam Lind, big hit right there. He has 2 hits. Kelly Johnson, a lefty, has 2 hits. CC just having trouble putting some hitters away, some deep counts. Because of that pitch count now at 95.
Dribbled slowly to third. Kicks foul. Three runs already in the bottom of the 5th. And Lind is on second with 2 outs and a 3-2 count on Laurie. Hot shot knocked down by Sabathia. He finds the ball. Can't make the play. Base hit.
Good job by CC Sabathia just keeping this in the infield. Probably saves a run. He kicks it. Laurie, who runs well. That's one of the things that everybody around the Blue Jays talks about is speed. But just knocking this ball down saves another run for CC. Take a look at Laurie getting out of the box. Pretty good at bat. Hits a shot right back up the middle. Gets down the line in good shape.
So the inning continues as Sabathia's pitch count pushes up toward 100. He's at 97. And here is Colby Rasmus with runners on first and third and 2 outs.
Rasmus, the one left-hander who's really struggled. 2 strikeouts and 2 at-bats.
And a strike.
He's had a tough time with that pitch, the slider. Wouldn't be surprised if Laurie on first base takes off. 7 stolen bases on the year, has not been thrown out.
Luis Ayala for me. Runner goes, check swing, back to the mound. Sabathia gets him, and that'll do it. But 3 runs for the Blue Jays, and the big blow with the bases loaded. Adam Lynn slices a double over the head of Gardner in left field. That scores 3. And the Yankees now trail 4-3 as we head to the 6th. Well, McGowan's going to have a chance to get a win if the bullpen does the job. So the Blue Jays make the call to the bullpen, brought to you by Lincoln. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com. Jesse Litch takes over for Dustin McGowan, and he'll deal to Curtis Granderson, a check swing, and he goes around. 4-3, the Blue Jays lead.
Jesse Litch used to be a starting pitcher here in Toronto, now pitching out of the bullpen.
Grounded to second. 1 away. Now, John, you're a big Pearl River guy, right?
I am.
I want to send out best wishes to a big-time Yankee fan, feeling a little under the weather, Richard Barron in Pearl River, watching the game, big Yankee fan. So best wishes to Richard Barron. Maybe he knows John Flaherty.
Well, get well soon, and I'm sure he's a great guy because Pearl River is the town of friendly people.
Is that on the sign?
It's on the sign.
Nice.
The town of friendly people.
And they still let you live there.
Wow.
It's Teixeira.
Haven't worked together in a while, and that's what happens, huh?
You started with the head stuff.
Well, it took to the 6th inning of game 1. That's all right.
The 0-1. High pop-up. Shallow left. And the left fielder, Thames, makes the play. 2 away. There's Robinson Cano. Robinson is 1 for 2. Singled and was thrown out at second, trying to stretch in the second. Good throw by Bautista. And then he reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th, but scored on Swisher's double. And a strike to Cano. Very strange defensive alignment. We've seen Cano hit ground balls to third a lot. The way he slices the ball, and they have the third baseman Laurie playing essentially shortstop.
I mean, we get to see Robinson pretty much on an everyday basis. I don't think there's any way to defend him. You play him straight up and take your chances because he hits the ball line to line. It's amazing all the information that these clubs have now. You know, percentage of ground balls from Robinson Cano, fly balls. Does he pull the ball in the air, on the ground? You can set up your defense accordingly. I think those stats might be telling with other hitters, not Robinson Cano. Line to line.
Two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Litch steals. Breaking ball with no bite. The count 3-2.
Well, remember Litch as a starter really threw a lot of sliders. It was the pitch he felt most comfortable throwing strikes. We'll pay attention here if he throws a 3-2 with 2 outs to Robinson Cano. Go with a sinking fastball, looks like away.
And the 3-2. Again grounded foul. Blue Jays had a 1-0 lead after 1. The Yankees came back with 3 in the 4th. A double by Swisher, a 2-run home run by Chavez, and then Adam Lynn with the bases loaded after 2 walks by Sabathia and 2 outs. He doubled in all 3 runs with a slicing line drive over the head of Gardner and left. 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 6th, and a 3-2 count on Cano. That one is drilled to right field. It's a base hit. Let's see if he tries for 2 again. Bautista plays the ball. He is going for 2, and this time he's in there, just barely, although the throw was dropped by McCoy.
Good battle from Robinson Cano against Litch, the right-hander, and he gets a fastball, a sinking fastball, middle of the plate down. Stumbles out of the box a little bit, and again he tests Bautista. A good throw, accurate. Robinson Cano just slides in there safely. And again, that right foot does not look to be a problem for Robinson Cano.
All right, so the tying run now in scoring position for the Yankees, and here's Nick Swisher. Pitch is low. Swisher on this road trip is 4 for 17. And the 1-0. There's a strike, 1-1.
Nick had a big 2-out double and an RBI in the 4th inning to get the Yankees on the board. Nick with terrible numbers against Litch, 1 for 12. It's a batting average of .083. I'm sure a lot of those at bats when Litch was a starter.
The 1-1. 2-1. Top of the 5th inning, Boston 4, Tampa Bay 3. Shields and Beckett still in there. Red Sox and the Rays. Each team has 6 hits. The 2-1. Laced into left field. It's a base hit. Let's see if they can score. Cano. Thames comes up throwing. It's cut off. Cano does score another RBI for Swisher, and the game is tied at
4. Nick Swisher getting it done tonight with 2 outs. Those deflating hits for an opposing club, and just stays on a backdoor slider. I mentioned the numbers against Litch were not very impressive, but he shoots it the other way. Robinson Cano is going to score easily, as there was not much on that throw. Again, we look at Robinson, and that right foot does not seem to be favoring it at all. He's had a lot of practice tonight running the bases. That right foot looks good. The Yankees tie the ball game up.
Fouled off twice. Big home run for Chavez his last time up. Roger 1-1 tie over the center field wall. Blue Jays have 8 hits against Sabathia, and the Yankees have 5. So McGowan now can no longer get the win. And at this point, Litch is the pitcher of record. And the count 2-1. Chavez grounded to third in the second, the home run in the 4th. This time he grounds to short, and they beat Swisher to the bag for the final out. The Yankees tie the game, 1 run, 2 hits, a big 2-out single by Swisher, 1 run left. Award-winning staff of The Office moved to My 9 at 10:30. Then it's hot dates and hilarious rejections unexcused at 11, plus a bonus office at 11:30 weeknights starting Wednesday on My 9. Aaron Sibia leads off, takes a ball from Sabathia. Let me throw this at you, John. We've said that CC has struggled throwing a lot of pitches in his last 3 starts, including this one. So now it's 4 starts where he's throwing more pitches than he usually does. Well, that would lead you to believe that he doesn't have the command that he usually does. Now, would that lead you to believe that he is being adversely affected by the extra rest?
Well, I think you mentioned the stats earlier, right? Yep. That his ERA is a little bit higher with the extra day of rest. So, I mean, it definitely could be a factor.
About a half a run higher. Nice play by Jeter, does the 360 in the dirt. Beautiful scoop by Teixeira. 1 away.
Such a luxury for Derek Jeter when you can go to your left to spin and you have the turf here and just get it in the general direction of Mark Teixeira at first base, trusting that he's going to come up with the backhand. A nice play by Derek to get there, and a nice play by Mark Teixeira to pick it backhanded to get the first out here in the 6th. You know, Michael, there are sometimes with CC Sabathia that he's been so good, and there are the numbers with the extra day of rest. He's been so good for so long. You know, he'll go on these 12 or 15 start stretches where he's just dominant and pitches deep into ball games. And you almost have to give him a little bit of a pass here the last couple of games and trust that he's going to get back on track to finish the year off strong.
And by no stretch of the imagination, John, you'd agree, is he pitching poorly?
No. It's just he spoils you in how good and how efficient and how dominant he can be when he gets on one of those runs, that it just doesn't quite look the same when he's off a little bit.
Hot shot into center field. How about Kelly Johnson, 3 for 3? As we move along, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Animal Health. What care feels like. Still 4-3, Boston over Tampa Bay. They're in the top of the sixth. Foul away.
Blue Jays playing a little hit and run there with McCoy and Kelly Johnson at first. You mentioned it earlier, Michael. Unusual to see a Blue Jay team running as much as they do. More sacrifice bunts. Interesting to see what Joe Girardi does here with CC Sabathia. Pitch count at 108 through 119 his last start. Casey Jansen getting loose for the Blue Jays. Season high of 128 pitches for CC 2 starts ago.
Shows bunt but takes a strike.
Also got to get to the point with Joe Girardi. You have to protect your #1 starter and keep him fresh. Looking forward to a long run in the playoffs. He's got to be your guy.
Base hit to right field. Kelly Johnson will stop at second. Swisher flips the ball in. Back-to-back singles. First and second with 1 out.
Well, the combination of Kelly Johnson and Mike McCoy has been a pain in the neck for CC Sabathia and the Yankees tonight. McCoy does a nice job with a couple of strikes on him. Not trying to pull, not trying to do too much. Just stay inside and slap it the other way.
Some action in the Yankee bullpen. As Russell Martin has a talk with CC. And here's Eric Thames. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to center. Pitch inside, 1-0. 10 hits against CC and 5 1/3 to this point. Luis Ayala, who was up earlier, is throwing again. 1-1.
If you're Eric Thames, I mean, this is a great spot to hit in the order, hitting in front of Jose Bautista. The problem is you have a lefty who keeps throwing sliders and fastball counts. Good pitch by CC there.
Strike 3, Thames down looking.
That was a fastball at 95, and then CC comes back with a slider. It really was not his best slider, pretty much right down the middle. But it locks Thames up, picks up a big strikeout. Now the very dangerous Jose Bautista comes to the plate.
A single and 2 walks for Bautista. He had come into this game 0 for 18 against Sabathia. Pitch is high. Crowd of 29,323 here at Rogers Center. 2-0.
Got to believe CC will go with something off speed here, 2-0.
And he does. Change up, 2-1.
Good pitch right there. I mentioned earlier, Bautista has become such a better hitter. Not just a fastball slugger, a good changeup right there from CC Sabathia.
Two-one. 3-1.
Just can't locate that fastball inside. It's been such a trademark for CC against right-handed batters his whole career, and especially this year. Having trouble tonight locating. And again, fastball count 3-1.
There's a strike. Bautista tossed his bat away. Thought he had worked a walk.
Jerry Meals, home plate umpire. Russell Martin setting up inside. It doesn't get inside. Jerry Meals calls it as a high strike.
That's a very high strike.
Very high.
At the plate. Runners will go. Here's the payoff. Missed outside. So Bautista walks for the third time, and that looks like it's going to be it for CC. Joe has not yet. Now he signals. So CC's going to leave with no chance to win and every chance to lose if Ayala doesn't do the job. Sabathia struggled again. Season and secure the opportunity to purchase the same seats for the 2011 postseason. So come join us for the chase for 28. For more information, visit Yankees.com or call 212-YANKEES. Well, Sabathia threw 120 pitches, 73 strikes, and he just was not consistently around the strike zone as he usually is. So at 4-4, as I mentioned, he can't win this game, so he'll have to wait for his 20th victory. And he's going to hope that Luis Ayala can keep it right here so he doesn't pick up his 9th loss. Ayala's numbers are very good with a 1.80 ERA. And it'll be Ayala against Encarnacion. One for 3 Encarnacion is against Ayala. So not much of a sample size. Fastball strike. Encarnacion 0 for 2 with a walk. Drove in a run with a fielder's choice in the first inning. Double play in the third, then walked and scored in the 5th. Dribbled slowly, foul.
Ayala with that good swinging fastball. CC Sabathia looking on. 5 2/3, 10 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts in the 120 pitches. Mentioned Ayala with that good running fastball in on a righty. Tough spot here with the bases loaded. You got to make sure you throw that ball inner half to the corner and not hit Encarnacion to force in a run.
Aaron Laffey getting ready. Kelly Johnson's at third, Mike McCoy at second, Jose Bautista is at first. And the 0-2 pitch is high.
3 fastballs in a row from Ayala. See if he goes with that sweeping slider away from Encarnacion. Fastball in.
Another foul ball.
Always worried about this situation with a guy with that running fastball in with a right-handed batter. One bad pitch. He worked hard to get ahead in the count 1-2. Run the risk of hitting him in the left side.
The 1-2. Another foul ball. Big time battle here. And a big spot in this game. Bottom of the 6th, game tied at 4. The Blue Jays have doubled the hit total for the Yankees, but the run total is where they pay off. It's 4-4. Blue Jays with 10 hits, Yankees 5. The 1-2. Lined into center field. Granderson will make the play for the final out of the inning. No runs, a hit. Check that. No runs, 2 hits. And the bases are left loaded. You go to the 7th. 4-4. Driving machine. Most of the damage has been done in the middle. In fact, all of the damage. Cano 2 for 3, a double 2-run scored. Swisher 2 for 3, a double 2 ribbies and a run scored. Eric Chavez 1 for 3, a home run and 2 ribbies. Now you'll see in that lineup, Alex Rodriguez not there. On Wednesday, Joe Girardi said that Rodriguez was going to play today. They decided to give it another day. He hit off a tee, then actually took live batting practice, had an apparatus put on his bat to absorb some of the shock near the left thumb, and they hope to have him in the lineup tomorrow as Jorge Posada takes a strike. It's a 4-4 game on the Wendy's scoreboard, brought to you by Wendy's. You know when it's real.
I got a shot at that apparatus that Alex has, what piece of tape in between his hands?
Yeah.
Kind of reminds you like of the old school hitters with that split grip. Yeah, that's got to be a little bit of an adjustment for Alex, I would assume, when he gets back in there.
John, I was wondering this. After tonight, there's 12 games left, and there's the apparatus, whether it's a donut or a little piece of tape rolled over and over there. After tonight, there's 12 games. Now, even if A-Rod plays tomorrow and there's no recurrence of the injury, he's not going to play all 12 games. They play a day-night doubleheader on Wednesday at the stadium against Tampa Bay. How many at-bats is he going to need to beat Alex Rodriguez if he's healthy? Is he going to get enough at-bats?
Well, you know, usually in spring training, guys talk about, you know what, they really start feeling good after about 30, 35 at-bats. So you think he might be able to get to that number if he plays 9 games?
Yep.
Now the problem is we're talking about Alex Rodriguez, who isn't the normal major leaguer. He might come back right away, first pitch he sees, hit a home run and just take off like nothing ever happened. But
well, if you're a Yankee fan, that's the way to root.
Yeah.
It's strange because when Joe said on Wednesday that he was going to play today, Alex was somewhat dubious about it. He said, well, we'll see. And he's not in the lineup today. The 2-2. Posada grounds it to first. It's a fair ball. Posada said, I don't know what he's saying, but he never moved out of the box. He pointed and then didn't really say much to the home plate umpire.
He thought maybe Jorge thought it hit off his foot, but now from the reaction, just walking right back to the dugout, that was not the case. Drops it right into the ground. Jorge thinking that, not quite sure what he was thinking off the bat. Like I said, I thought maybe it hit his foot. He's pointing to something behind the plate.
I don't know what he was thinking. There's a strike to Martin. Maybe he felt the breeze and thought it hit the blousy part of the leg.
Well, he was pointing back towards the dirt, so that would tell me I can't even explain that one.
There's no way to even fake it. I mean, if he thought it was in foul territory, it doesn't matter. It's where it ends up.
You could try to sell it like it hit your foot or maybe, but that's not what he was trying to do. That's tough to explain.
0 for 3 tonight for Posada. Driven deep to left, but foul. The 1-2. Still 1-2. Rafael Soriano, the Yanks.
Crowded bullpen.
Missed outside.
You wonder why all those guys in the bullpen are standing around the mound watching Soriano warm up. I mean, the best seat in the house is that row up right above the fence in right center field. Without a doubt, the best seat at the Rogers Center right there.
A lot of young kids in that bullpen hoping to get into a game, but I think they're going to have to clinch and be leading or trailing by a lot to see a guy like Betances or Brackman. The 2-2. Foul away. So Martin hanging in there. And Lynch deals a 2-2. Foul away and out of play. Yankees tied the game in the 6th inning, a 2-out double by Cano, and then a single to left by Swisher. Yankees led 3-1, then they trailed 4-3. Now it's 4-4 here in the 7th. The 2-2. Rounded sharply to third. Laurie's there for the second. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Gardner. Gardner walked in the 3rd, then stole 2 bases, stole 2nd and 3rd, then grounded to 2nd in the 5th. Pitch outside. Count 1-1. Gardner's road trip, 3 for 21. Average now at 260. High fly ball deep center. Rasmus back, and he'll put it away for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. At the end of 6.5, Yankees 4 and the Blue Jays 4. Hats off to the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. 9-1 or 1-9 if you'd like to look at it that way. We've done a lot of damage in this game. They are 6 for 7. A couple of runs scored. Adam Lynn, the biggest blow, a 3-run double, obviously with the bases loaded. That gave the Blue Jays a 4-3 lead for a moment. The Yankees did tie it up, then Bautista with 3 walks, Encarnacion with a walk, Ribby and a run scored. And that's the Blue Jays in-game box score. New pitcher for the Yankees, so Ayala comes on just to get the 1 out in the 6th. Now they turn it over to Rafael Soriano. And Adam Lynn takes a strike. 37th game, 2-2, 4.05. Count 1-1. On the Wendy scoreboard, it's 4-4. Ball the other way.
You expect the Yankees to pitch Lind away. You got to respect his power. 24 home runs. CC Sabathia saw his last at bat, able to drive the ball the other way for a double. 3 RBIs.
Down on strikes. Boston leads Tampa Bay 4-3, bottom of the 6th inning.
Good slider from Soriano, down and in, couple of fastballs away. And finished them with that slider down and in off the plate.
That's going to bring up Brett Lawrie. Singled off of Sabathia's foot in the 5th inning. That's his hit tonight, 1 for 3. Grounded to second and struck out. Breaking ball missed outside. There's a strike. Pitch outside. The 2-1.
Soriano has a nice little cut action on his fastball tonight. There at 91, but it looks like it's moving away from the righty. Pretty good pitch.
Just missed outside. Wanted that one.
Soriano, Russell Martin behind the plate. This is exactly how you draw it up. A slider down and away that just misses. Lawrie does an offer at it. Jerry Neal's home plate umpire doesn't give him the call. See if they can do it again. 3-2.
And the pitch. Foul away. Game, bottom of the 7th inning here at Rogers Center. The roof has been closed since the 1st inning. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Went upstairs with heat. And Lawrie down swing. Talking to himself about going out of the strike zone.
Yeah, not happy. He gets a fastball up, but he just expands, and he does Soriano a little bit of a favor.
Here's Colby Erasmus, 0 for 3. Pitch outside, 1-0.
Erasmus happy that CC Sabathia out of this ballgame. Had a tough time with the slider. Looked like he could not pick up the spin.
1-1. And the pitch. Inside. 2-1. Blue Jays took a 1-0 lead in the first on an RBI groundout by Edwin Encarnacion. Yankees came back with 3 in the fourth. A double by Swisher, and then a 2-run home run by Chavez. The 2-1. 3 runs for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the fifth inning. A bases loaded double that cleared the bases by Adam Lind. And then the Yankees tied the game in the sixth inning. An RBI single driving in Cano by Nick Swisher. That's where we are at 4-4, bottom of the seventh. And the pitch. Foul back. Two outs for Soriano, 2 strikeouts. As the Yankees have their late inning mapped out, it's Soriano, Robertson, and Rivera. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. So Soriano comes on to strike out the side. Lind, Laurie, and Erasmus. 7 in the books. It's a 4-4 game. Stay right here. We head to the 8th.
News on I-9.
Well, we go to the 8th inning. It's 4-4. New pitcher for the Blue Jays, Casey Janssen. His numbers jump out at you.
Only 14 walks in 49 innings. The ERA just over 2. And Janssen, who used to be a starting pitcher, battled some shoulder problems. Now pitching out of the bullpen, having a very, very nice year.
Here's Derek Jeter. His 13-game hitting streak may be on the line. He's 0 for 3. Pitch outside. Derek against Dustin McGowan, grounded to short, struck out swinging, and struck out looking. Count 2-0. There's the 8th inning guy, David Robinson, with a big audience out there.
Michael, if Derek Jeter extends that hitting streak, he's going to have to do it against Casey Janssen, and he is 0 for 11 in his career against Janssen. Obviously, he's had a tough time.
Two. Chop towards second. So Derek is 0 for 4. That's going to bring up Curtis Granderson. Curtis is 0 for 2 with a walk. Count 1-0. Popped up. McCoy calls off Lowry. And there's 2 outs.
Jansen has that good fastball, really uses his lower half to drive the ball to home plate, just enough to get it in on the hands of Curtis Granderson. Always like Jansen's delivery and how he uses his legs to drive himself down the hill.
Pitch to Teixeira is outside. Grounded foul. Actually, a line foul. Teixeira tonight grounded to third, but the third baseman's really on the right side of the infield. Then grounded into a 3-6 force and popped up to left. Strike on the outside corner. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, an impressive inning for Casey Jansen as the Yankees go down in order. 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 4-4 game on by 9. The majors, the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Fiat. Introducing the 2012 Fiat 500. Visit fiatusa.com to find a studio near you. Yankees will go to their 4th pitcher. It'll be David Robertson. Sabathia started, went 5 2/3. Ayala came on to get the final out of the 6th. Soriano came on to strike out the side in the 7th in order. And now it's David Robertson's turn. And he's going to face Arancibia, Johnson, and McCoy. In the bottom of the 8th.
Michael just saw on that out-of-town scoreboard the Red Sox still leading 4-3. Don't know how that game's going to turn out, but probably good news for Red Sox fans. Beckett seems like he got through that game okay.
There were 2 things to see in that game: how Beckett pitched and whether or not you could win. You could accept losing if Beckett pitched well, but if Beckett pitched poorly and you lost, that would be a double whammy. Robertson's ERA 1.16, 95 strikeouts in 62 innings. There's a strike. Was that a cut fastball, John?
Had a little movement away. It did. He jumped out at me with Soriano the last inning, too. All his fastballs were cutting away from the right-handers.
Another strike. 1-1. 1-2 now.
We've seen David Robertson when he really gets through a fastball. Sometimes it has that little movement away.
Bounces that one past Mark. And the 2-2. Hammered on a base hit. Left field line. Cutting it off is Gardner. Arancibia is going for 2. The throw is cut off by Jeter. The relay not in time. So Robertson promptly in trouble.
Give Arancibia some credit for turning around a fastball and hammering it to left field. Brett Gardner gets over there and spins and plants and throws, but the ball is offline. If it was on line and an accurate throw, they would have had a play on Arancibia. Derek Jeter has to move over to cut it off. They would have had a play on the catcher. Gets out of the box in pretty good shape. Was curious if he was going to stretch it to two. He did. He stumbled a little bit, but the throw off line, a leadoff double.
Pinch runner is Dwayne Wise. In for Aaron Sibia. Kelly Johnson squares the bunt, takes high.
I know the book says that you should bunt right here, but Kelly Johnson 3 for 3, 3 singles, and good at bats against CC Sabathia. Give him a chance to swing the bat, try to pull the ball. Hit it on the ground. You expect Wise to advance to third. Swinging a hot bat.
Bunted foul. All three Yankee outfielders very shallow. Now remember, any base hit to right is going to be a test of Nick Swisher's elbow. And I've been watching him since he's been playing out there after he hurt the arm in Baltimore. He's just flipping the ball in. But if he really has to throw, we'll have to see what he can do. And I'm sure that's on the third base coach Brian Butterfield's mind. Count 2-1.
Well, David Robertson with that fastball, it has so much life, and especially if it's up in the zone, it's not an easy pitch to bunt. If you're Kelly Johnson, you really got to make sure you get a fastball down, because that fastball up will have a little bit extra life on it, easy to pop up.
Make sure to get him out. Count 3-1, throw a strike.
See Johnson looking down at third base coach Brian Butterfield, going through the signs. The manager could take the bunt off here at 3-1 count, knowing Robertson has to throw a fastball.
Squares again, and he walked him. So he didn't give him the opportunity to bunt. Now I'm sure Mike McCoy will be up there to bunt.
Well, we've seen David Robertson get in trouble before and be able to pull off a Houdini act. Joe Girardi's going to go to the mound and have a conversation, probably more about how they're going to defend the possibility of a sacrifice bunt.
Now's your chance to take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota. If the playoffs started today, who do you think should be the Yankee starting pitcher for Game 2? Your choices: A, A.J. Burnett, B, Bartolo Colon, C, Freddie Garcia, D, Phil Hughes, E, Ivan Nova. So text A, B, C, D, or E to 70377 or go to my9tv.com and find out the results right after the game. It's Take on Russ, brought to you by Toyota. Well, they are into the corners. The wheel play is on, and the first pitch is a strike. Now that covers up something that's been missing when Nunez has been charging at third. It's not a wheel play, and there's nobody there in case the ball is fielded.
See Derek Jeter going all the way to third base. The Yankees trying to cut off that lead runner at third.
The 0-1. Foul tip. 0-2.
Well, the Yankees catch a break right there. Fastball up and in. McCoy tries to get out of the way, and it makes a little contact with the bat. Jerry Meals, home plate umpire, all over it.
What do you do now, John? You have him bunt with 2 strikes?
I would. David Robertson obviously in the driver's seat right now, 0-2. Strikeout pitcher.
Proctor and Laffey. Strike 3. Didn't even get a bunt down. And McCoy is down looking. So that's not getting the job done in any stretch of the imagination.
And if you're Mike McCoy and John Farrell, the manager, and you want him to bunt with 2 strikes, he could not have gotten a better pitch to bunt with 2 strikes. A fastball right down Broadway. And he doesn't offer to bunt. That was a gift right there from David Robertson. He didn't take advantage.
Big strikeout. Here's Eric Thames. Let's see if they can turn two. There's one. And the throw pulls Teixeira off the bag. And that's big. Why? Because now you have to face Jose Bautista. That's how big not turning that double play is.
Pretty much a tailor-made 4-6-3. You see the flip from Robinson Cano. It's a good one. And Derek Jeter, the sidearm throw, it sails underneath and it's high. You're right. Now Bautista comes up there. He's 3 for 9 against David Robertson with a home run. So this, what looked like a sure double play that's not executed, could prove to be costly.
I've always wondered this, John. If there were runners on second and third, you'd walk them. Well, a base is open, and they are going to walk them. I like that.
This is right out of Sparky Anderson's book when I played for him in '94 and '95. His attitude, no matter what base is open, it's open. If you have a best hitter, go ahead and put him on. But now the pressure on David Robertson, not only to get out of this inning, but throw strikes with the bases loaded.
And one of the reasons I like this, John, is because they'd say, okay, pitch to Bautista, but pitch to him carefully. Well, then that's a cop-out. This way, walk him. You don't have to worry about pitching to him carefully. And not taking chances with Encarnacion. Yes, you move a second runner into scoring position, but the pitcher has to do his job now.
Yeah, I think that 3 for 9 with the home run against Robertson for Bautista probably alarmed Joe Girardi. You just don't see those numbers against David Robertson.
And Robertson seems to like the bases loaded. 46 batters he's faced with the bases loaded. He struck out 24 of them. So more than half of the batters he faces with the bases loaded go down swinging. So Dwayne Wise is on third. Eric Thames at second, and Bautista is at first, intentionally walked. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball on My 9. We thank you for joining us. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-4 game, bases loaded, 2 outs, and the cleanup hitter Encarnacion at the plate. Pitches upstairs, 1-0.
Encarnacion has had plenty of opportunities tonight. Actually hit a ball hard his last time right to Curtis Granderson. Quickly finds himself ahead in the count, 1-0.
Now 2-0.
This is what you worried about if you're Joe Girardi. Bases loaded, Robertson, you have to throw strikes. Now you're behind in the count, 2-0. And you start thinking about it a little bit more.
Swing and a miss. Boy, he's trying for a grand slam.
There's no guesswork. You know what you're going to get. A fastball, and he got it right down the middle. A big, huge hack. Swings right through it.
Game on the line right here. 2-1 count, bases loaded, 2 outs. The pitch. Now 2-2. Robertson is challenging him. Seems almost, John, as if he doesn't have command of the breaking ball today.
Yeah, but I just smile right here. I mean, how many times can David Robertson do it? He's been doing it all year. Again, another fastball. We've seen, what, one curveball this inning, and he really spiked it badly. Try that fastball up right here and see if Encarnacion will chase for you.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded. Fly ball. Deep right. Swisher back. On the track, he makes the play, and that will do it. So Robertson again works into and then out of trouble. Let's go to the 9th.
Field. See how he's changing the lives of so many people in Harlem. Tonight on the 10 o'clock news on My 9.
So David Robertson wiggles out of trouble again as we go to the 9th inning, tied at 4. Here's Cano. He fouls it back. New catcher is Jose Molina. Aaron Sibia was pinch run for. 4-4 game, top of the 9th. Cano, Swisher, and Chavez. They've done the damage for the Yankees. Cano with 2 runs scored, 2 hits. Swisher with 2 hits and 2 ribbies. Eric Chavez with a hit and 2 ribbies. In the middle of the order does what it's supposed to do. Third pitcher for John Farrell and the Blue Jays. McGowan started, went 5. Jesse Litch went 2. And now Jansen in for a 2nd inning of work. Yankees have the left-hander Raul Valdez warming up in their bullpen. And also Boone Logan. So pick your lead.
Adam Lynn will lead off. One of those left-handers will probably get that assignment. Robinson Cano, good numbers, 4 for 8, a batting average of .500 against Casey Jansen.
He did not go, said Dale Scott. So Cano has worked the count full.
Very good call by Dale Scott.
Popped up. Long run for Laurie. If they weren't shifting on Cano, he makes that play and there's one away, but he's about 20 feet off the line. Maybe more.
Good matchup here with Casey Jansen and Robinson Cano. And if you're Jansen, you make your pitch. You think you got an easy pop-up just out of the reach of Laurie. They got to get back on the mound and do it all over again.
Spoils that one.
Michael, that's a difference right there between Robinson Cano and all the other hitters in the major leagues. Obviously, there's so many talented hitters, but a pitcher's pitch that you can just kind of flip your bat at and spoil. You can't do anything with this pitch except hit a weak ground ball. Robinson Cano just fouls it off.
Fly ball, shallow center. And Rasmus makes the play for the first out. So Jansen wins that battle. There's Nick Swisher with 2 big RBIs. His RBI single with 2 outs in the 6th. Scored Cano from second, tied the game at 4. That's where we are right now in the 9th. A strike. Count 1 and 1. count 2-1. Pitch. Grounded softly to second. Johnson will in for the second out. Well, other than that misstep in the 6th inning with 2 outs by Jesse Litch, the Blue Jay bullpen has been perfect. Here's Eric Chavez, 2-run home run in the 4th inning against the starter Dustin McGowan. Count 1-0. One. Tomorrow afternoon, Bartolo Colon against Henderson Alvarez. And then on Sunday, Freddie Garcia against uncertain, because it was supposed to be Dustin McGowan, and he started today. A 1-2. Foul ball.
4th inning, Eric Chavez got a fastball and a 3-1 count. McGowan, who had been so good up to that point, pays the price. 2-run home run.
And the 1-2. Hit the second. 1-2-3 inning for Jansen here in the top of the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Adam Lind will lead off for the Blue Jays. Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, all tied at 4, so the Yankees hoping for extra innings. And they will bring in their 5th pitcher of the night, left-hander Boone Logan.
See the numbers for Boone Logan: 12 walks and 38 1/3. He will face Adam Lind to lead off, and he's done a nice job against Lind in his career. 0 for 10.
So Lind 2 for 4 tonight with 2 strikeouts, a single and a double, and the big hit, the 3-run double with the bases loaded. He's got power. 24 home runs. Breaking ball swung on a miss. Top of the 8th inning, Boston leads Tampa Bay 4-3. Shields still in there, and Bard in there for the Red Sox. Bard, as good as his stuff is 2-8 this year. One. 1-2.
Mentioned those numbers for Boone Logan against Adam Lind. 0 for 10. Has a tough time picking up the spin on the breaking ball. A couple of weak swings so far in this at bat.
Lind on the season hitting .254, but against the Yankees this year he has 15 hits. He's hitting .319 with 2 homers and 7 ribbies. Corey Wade, who lost Wednesday's game, serving up a walk-off home run. He's up for the Yanks. Two. 3-2. Brett Lawrie's on deck. Hammered down the right field line. That ball is off the wall. Lind is going for 2. And the throw on one hop comes into Jeter. So Lind opens up the bottom of the 9th inning with a double.
Well, the key to this at bat, Adam Lind finally laid off a couple of sliders that were down and away. And because of that, Boone Logan had to come in there with a strike with it. And it was up in the zone. And Boone Logan actually lucky that this ball game is not over. There was a hanging slider hit off the wall. And Michael, you mentioned Nick Swisher and his throwing arm. Not a lot on this throw. Just kind of flips it into second base. Adam Lind gets a job done.
And Adam Lowen goes in the pinch run. Former Oriole pitcher has now turned into a position player, and he is pinch running. So that's the winning run, and here is Brett Lawrie, who's 1 for 4. First base is open, and they are going to pitch around Lawrie.
We have Kobe Rasmus on deck. A left-handed swinger has had a tough time tonight. Joe Girardi, another intentional walk. We'll see if John Farrell sends up a pinch hitter for Rasmus. Or he might send him up there to lay down a bunt and see what happens.
At ball 3. Looks like he's going to keep him in there as he talks with Rasmus, giving him a verbal sign. So an intentional walk to Lawrie. They intentionally walked Bautista in the 8th inning and it worked out. Let's see if this works out. Third base coach Brian Butterfield waiting for the sign. Still waiting. Now he goes through his signs.
Well, I'm sure John Farrell probably told Rasmus what the deal was when he had that conversation in the dugout, but Brian Butterfield, third base coach, going through the signs, letting his base runners know. Got to believe the bunt is on right here. 3 strikeouts on the night for Rasmus.
Bunted right back to Logan. Fires to third, and they get the force. Good play by Logan and a good play by Chavez, backing up and finding the bag.
Kobe Rasmus having a tough night. It's a sacrifice bunt situation. He really squared late. Didn't show bunt until the last minute, and then bunts it right back to Boone Logan. Relatively hard and easy play coming off the mound. The tough part is Chavez getting back to the bag. The accurate throw and a big out. Chavez coming in, reading the bunt. Then he's got to hustle back and find the baseball. Good play.
Well, that's going to do it for Boone Logan. So they're going to call on Corey Wade. Wade will come up. Due up is Jose Molina. It's a 4-4 game, bottom of the 9th.
Diaz gets a fastball right down the middle, a walk-off home run. Corey Wade, who has done such a great job for the Yankees this year.
That was his first loss of the year. He's 5-1. So you've got Lawrie at second, Rasmus at first, and Jose Molina coming to the plate. Those are the numbers that Wade has compiled. Molina, the backup catcher for the Blue Jays. He's having a good year, 286, 3 homers and 13 ribbies in limited duty, 48 games, 154 bats.
He's a double play waiting to happen if you're Corey Wade in the New York Yankees. If you can make a pitch and get a ground ball, you will turn a double play. But you're right, swinging the bat better this year, Michael.
Dropped the breaking ball in there.
Boy, that's a huge curveball from Corey Wade. Molina not happy with the call. called. Jerry Meals, a high strike right there.
Missed outside with a breaking ball.
Try to get that ground ball. If you're a pitcher, you throw breaking balls away and down and fastballs in on the hands.
That one is driven out to right center field. That's going to be trouble. That's going to be the ball game. Brett Lawrie scores. It's a walk-off single for Molina. And the Yankees lose a tough one as the Blue Jays beat them 5-4.
Understand the pitch selection, Michael. I mean, you talk about if you want to get a double play ground ball, the breaking balls down and away off the plate and fastballs in. That looked like a fastball up, out, over. Good pitch to get up in the air for Jose Molina. A nice win for the Toronto Blue Jays.
His teammates in their excitement tore off his shirt. He almost tore the cover off the ball right here.
A fastball out over the plate and up. He's having a good year swinging the bat. Now he has a walk-off base hit. The Blue Jays take the first game of this series.
Now for the second straight game on this road trip, Corey Wade walks off. That's what a walk-off means. He walks off, and the Yankees have their second straight loss. We got more to do, obviously, here at Rogers Center. We got some awards to give out as well. Yankees lose this one 5-4, a game that CC Sabathia started. Jose Molina ended.